This is Stephanie, and this is the Mocha Minutes Podcast. Hey guys, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to let you know about something that's a little new here at the Mocha Minutes Podcast. We are now participating in Buy Me a Coffee. So if you haven't heard, buymeacoffee.com is a place where you can show some support and some love monetarily to some of your favorite content creators. That includes me. So it's in the increments of either $1, $3, or $5, and you can do as many as you would like. So I just wanted to let you guys know, would love some support. So if you would go to buymeacoffee.com/Mocha Minutes, I would greatly appreciate it. It will also be in the show notes. Okay, here we go. Hey DJ, love the way I lose my inhibitions when you spin. And I don't care if people stare, I'd rather boogie than try to fit in. Turn it up, let them scrutinize. Way up, 'cause the night is mine. Turn it up, let them scandalize. Yay up under flashing lights. No, don't be jealous of my boogie. Don't be jealous of my boogie. You can say that you are not, but I always see you looking. Don't be jealous of my boogie. Jealous of my boogie. You can say that you are not, but I always see you looking. Don't be jealous of my boogie. Jealous of my boogie. You can say that you are not, but I always see you looking. Don't be jealous of my boogie. Jealous of my boogie. You can say that you are not, but I always see you watching. Woo! Hello. Welcome to the Mocha Minutes Podcast. I am Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm not exactly sure why RuPaul's Jealous of My Boogie was my earworm for this week. Actually, I think I do know, because I watched the latest episode of Married to Medicine. So, welcome back to the show. Thank you guys. Had to take a little bit of a mental break after February 6th. February 6th is always going to be a day where I literally need to take a break from everything around me. It's always going to be that way. Not a bad thing per se. But it's a good day to just remember the man that my dad was. And so, note to self, every year, just take that day off. If it's during the week, don't even try to work, because it did not work for me, because the day before, I literally left my office in tears. I couldn't work. It's like, Stephanie, take this time off and just shut down the brain. So I appreciate everybody who was listening. I appreciate that my girl TT came through. I can't wait to get her thoughts on the ending of the Love and Marriage Huntsville 3-part reunion. So today is solo dolo, and it's mostly Bravo high notes. But let me start with Love and Marriage Huntsville, the reunion. So Love and Marriage Huntsville, that's not a Bravo show, but I feel like because of how messy it can get and how crazy the fandom is, it's Bravo adjacent. So, Love and Marriage Huntsville had 3 parts of a reunion. And I didn't realize until I was listening to Rodney the Voice that there was so much that was not shown at this 3-part reunion. I literally forgot that Kimmy is working on opening a restaurant, and that was covered in this season. And we didn't hear nothing else about it. I think for the most part, the biggest things we had to talk about was literally Mel Martell, Destiny and Sunny, Trish, Ken, and Marquez. Now, part 3 was all Ken, Marquez, and Latricia. I'm going to say this. Based on how they both behave, I can see why Latricia and Marquez were married for so long. Both of them ain't shit. Both of them. Now, Martell spent a lot of this reunion, like this 3 parts of this reunion, acting like he did not do anything wrong. Now, when they showed the clips back, I realized something. Martell set the tone between him and Latricia, because he was like, "Oh, hi." So first time I saw it, I noticed that he didn't even look at her and shook her hand. So it's kind of like, I was like, well, maybe he's like, because he didn't look at her, he didn't recognize her hair. And then when when he said, "Oh, we've met before," yeah, Martell, that was you. And then when you were with the guys, you did insinuate something happened, and you made jokes, and that wasn't funny. And then, so when he was going, "I mean, I didn't insinuate anything." Yes, you did. You're making these jokes. You are insinuating something. But it also didn't help that you acted super weird at Stormy's house. Because one, she's the one who walked in. And the thing about it is, if Latricia said, "Stop." And so the thing about it is, I think, this is just me, and this is my opinion, and I don't know if I would have played it this way. I may have been I would have like, probably, my face would have probably been as cracked as Latricia's was. But if he said, "We knew each other," I'm like, "Boy, stop playing." Oh my God, girl. So I have been to this man's house. You need to stop. So if she had just did that, I think it would have been fine. So the disclosure of what happened between her and Martell, that really isn't all on Martell. Well, Trish does have a part in it. But the thing about it is, she had more responsibility to tell Ken than anybody else. On the camera, we don't care. Like, we're not that big of a part of it. Anything that was going to come up on this show, it should not have been a surprise to Ken. That is the person that I'm worried about. Yeah, you should have said something to him, honestly. And so, yeah, I don't know if they are still together. I think there was a rumor that like Ken had scrubbed his whole, he had scrubbed his Instagram handle with, like, basically of Latricia, and I think people are alluding to them two not being together anymore. I'm not exactly sure. I am not sure at all. I'm really not. Because I think I'm like a few other people. I don't really follow, I don't follow like some of the drama that's on the show. I just want to see something. Like if it's not, if not on the show, I kind of don't pay attention to it. Now, if I'm ooh, Lord, you know what's good? So I will say this: if I'm looking at Ken's, IG handle right now. Let me hit follow, because I love some I will say this. I love me a thirst trap Instagram handle, and Ken's Instagram handle. Yep, Thirsty Thirst Trap. I will say this. There is no pictures or like acknowledgement of Latricia. I'm not sure. It's just him. So I'm not sure. But again, the thing about it is, I will say this. I didn't follow him before, so I don't know. I don't know what their stuff looked like before. I'm also looking at Trisha's stuff. Mind you, she got these thigh meats out. I'm like, oh girl. See, the thing about it is, if this is the IG handle that Martell was told about by Chris, I'm gonna get to him in a minute. Yeah, I can see why he slid in her DMs, because I'm sorry, body is banging. She got her kids on her too. It's so cute. But yeah, I don't see, oh hey booty. But yeah, I don't see any instance of Ken either. I don't look, I was not following them before. I am just following them. I am not sure what's happening with these two. It's like, I don't even know what to do. All right. Okay. Let me take a step back. Because all season I have felt very much all right, how do I want to say this? Because there's a video from 5 weeks. I can't believe I'm doing this. It's a video from 5 weeks ago where she is tagging Ken and girl. I don't know what's going on with them. Let me just leave this alone. But when it came to this reunion, there was a lot that was not said. Melody's affect gave, I'm so glad I'm not doing this. This is my last one of doing this shit. And that's what she gave. Ken and Trish is not fully healed because let's be very clear. Whatever the fuck Marquez did to them in that did to her in that marriage, couple that with one, she still had to be a parent to her babies, and she lost several important people in her life within a small time frame. Having to grieve multiple people, girl, and when you don't have the luxury of not taking time to take off, it's like you still got to be a mom, you still got to be a wife, you still have to work. I don't understand why people are not giving Trish a little bit more grace, but that's neither here nor there. That's why I gave her grace, because I'm on my own grief journey, and yeah, honey, She gets all of my sympathy and empathy, and so does Ken. But I will say this, Ken, you want to be in there as Captain Save-A-Ho for somebody who don't need to be saved. You were thinking like, oh, I'm going to come in here and save her, and then I'm going to start my life. I'm like, sir, you seem like a professional side piece. And really, the only thing you should have been giving Trisha, instead of like giving her ultimatums, because I feel like that's coming, if it hasn't come already, or giving like, I want this, this, and this from a woman who literally was in a marriage with her high school sweetheart and has 2 children. The only thing, Ken, you should have been giving her was orgasms and back shots. That's all she needed. Period. Please just drop off dick. Not saying you couldn't live together or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But baby, he really. But it doesn't help that a poor communicator got into another relationship, and communication is key in any relationship. I don't care what nobody say. Chris Fletcher. He is lying. His story about how Martell found Trish has changed, 1, throughout the season, and 2, on this reunion. He did it, and he don't want to take any responsibility in it. Now, did he tell Martell to DM her? No. But Chris wants to be out of it, and like, oh baby, you got a little bit of part in this, and you need to accept that, and he won't. It's actually kind of weird to watch, but that's neither here nor there. Do I want to see the Fletchers back? Yes. Especially because of the stepdaughter who is doing a whole book, going through chapters of her life with the Fletchers. So, come back. I have a feeling if Melody, because Melody is leaving, Stormy is just, she's like, it's above me now when it comes to Stormy. Stormy is not coming back. Melody is not coming back. I have a feeling, don't quote me, we might get Wanda J. Blige back. We just might. The Scotts, both sets, they're coming back. I wouldn't be surprised. Destiny, neither Destiny or Sunny need to come back to this show. The thing about this is, I can understand why Destiny would feel away. I also understand people saying Destiny to like just get over this. To a certain extent, she does. However, Sunny is playing in people's faces, and I know she is, because she's trying to act like, we were like, we're not friends. We're not on that level. But then on the same token was saying that I was pouring into her. You don't pour into people that you don't have a relationship with. Because I'm pretty sure I don't think I've ever heard Carlos saying, I'm pouring into a cast member of one of his shows. He can say anything, like he can be nice to them, but it's the phrasing of, I'm pouring into her. Why are you doing that? Like, if this is just work, why are you pouring to her about anything? Sonny don't want that smoke. And Sonny should get that smoke. Baby, it's okay. Because I feel like this season would have looked a lot better if Sonny had just received how Destiny would feel and just say, you know what, you're right. I should have told you a little bit, like a few days sooner than we got married. Sonny's acting like that didn't happen. I don't believe her. Also, ma'am, you were walking around like Moses was like the prize, and that man is in jail. Don't come back to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Please write into Love After Lockup. Thank you so much. Love and Marriage Huntsville seasons are so long that it's kind of like when you think about how long the season is. Like, okay, 3 parts of a reunion, but you're like, y'all didn't cover quite a bit. The part about Kiki is it was just a lot. It was kind of hard for me to watch that part, which is why I didn't watch too much of that package. But the fact that Stormy paid for the funeral and it was no skin off her nose, I'm pretty sure she just said, yeah, I'll do it. Only because she really did care about Kiki. And the thing about it is, the way that she was on the show, I could see that. And it's only like, we only saw a few minutes, so I can only imagine what it was like when it's off camera and you're spending a lot more time than 45 minutes. And I know people were saying, like, why didn't her sister cousin pay for it? Because if y'all remember, and again, I don't pay too much attention, but I kind of did see those comments from that side of the family. They didn't want the Scotts involved. So I don't know why. Like, yeah, that's the reason why. And that's why they accepted it from Stormy, because they knew Stormy cared about her. I don't think that Letitia and Marceau did not care about her. But towards the end of the show, I could see why they're like, girl, you trying to embarrass her on this show. We don't want nothing to do with you. I can understand that. But Stormy really is a good person to do that. And she just did it. I think that's a beautiful thing. So we'll see what next season is going to hold with Melody not being there. I wonder if she's going to remain EP. Who knows? But it's going to be next season. It's going to be season 10/season 15. It just seems like it should be like more seasons, but it's like, it's saying it's season 9. I'm like, it seems like this show has been on forever. But yeah, it's going to be season 10. I'm wondering if, Kingdom Reign is going to do a big shakeup for season 10. Probably not, but we shall see. So let's slide to actual Bravo to talk Bravo high notes. So I have a quota of shows that are of the non-melanated persuasion. I have a quota. And for Housewives, they're not included in this quota. The Boat Show is not included. So the other shows. And also, I'm sorry, Top Chef and Project Runway, they're not included. Because for me, Top Chef, competition show. Project Runway, competition show. The Boat Show, it's the boat. Maybe that's why I'm thinking. And Housewives, I'm like, I watch all of that. I'm like, I watched every iteration of Housewives because I'm a Housewives junkie. I stopped watching Southern Charm a few years ago, and based on the comments I've seen, I shouldn't be rushing back to watch it anytime soon. So that leaves Summer House, and my Summer House show has come back. It was the premiere this week, and when I tell you, it's this dynamic that is going to shift, where we're going to be looking in the rear view or the hindsight of Paige and Craig. This is going to be very, very interesting. We're going to see an activated Sierra. It's going to be very interesting. Wonder if we're going to see more about Amanda and Kyle Cook with an ease, their relationship, because I think there was also whispers of him cheating again. So we'll see. We're also at the beginning premiere. Basically, Lindsay is telling people that she is pregnant. There's a rumor going around that her and Turner had broke up. Turner is her boyfriend / her baby daddy. And she was on Watch What Happens Live that night, and Turner was in the back. When I say Turner is like, he's a private person, he's not even sitting in those 2 seats right in front of Watch What Happens Live for the audience. And I think we've seen his face. I think he's a cute guy. Yeah, this is going to be interesting because towards the end of the premiere, here comes Carl, and everybody's going to care about Carl's feelings. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to maintain this. You don't get to be the wounded bird when you're the one who pulled the plug. You don't get to, let me go. You don't get to be the wounded bird when you yanked the nest. Sir, you're the one who called off the wedding. You're the one who didn't want to get married. I am so sorry. You are not going to say like, I'm sad and mad. Mad? You should be glad. Didn't you? And you called off the wedding. Not her. There were bloody red flags on why y'all shouldn't get married. And she was still going to marry your ass anyway. We going to stop babying men's feelings. We going to stop babying these men's feelings, especially ones where you called off the wedding and you want me to feel sorry for you? Oh, hell no. Absolutely not. We're not doing this today. We're not. It was a solid premiere to see how the rest of the season will go. Oh, I'm sorry. Sierra and West is going to be funny. Sierra, I'm tired of you letting these basic, mediocre looking white men play in your face. I am so here for, I'm a fucking supermodel. And also, by the way, if I wanted to go work a regular job and be a nurse, because I have my license, I can do so. Activated Sierra. I can't wait for her to step into, I'm a fucking bad bitch. I'm tired of you mediocre, average looking white men playing in my face. I am so glad. I don't know what the hell happened at Traders, but I'm so glad this is happening. I love this for us. I love this for Sierra. So, the first part of the Housewives of Potomac reunion was here. And the season has been a little bit lopsided for me. I've heard the commotion's not the word I want to use. I've heard the frustrations, that's the word I want to use, with people are having with this season, and I can kind of understand that. Was season 9 the worst season? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I will say the folks who had very good seasons, I did not think this name I would say. Good seasons this year. Wendy, Giselle. That's it. Okay. So what? Yes, that's it. Everybody else, I could go through the line. So Kiarna, ma'am, please drop that nigga off. Because it's like, that man don't care about your feelings, and I have a problem with that. But that's just to us. He could have seen this, watch his back, saying, oh my gosh, is that how I treat you? Hopefully he did change up, because Kiarna a little too bad for him to be playing with her with this. Ashley, please leave us alone. You had so much to say about everybody else's. You definitely had it about Robin's marriage. You said anything about everybody on their relationship and how they moving. Man, they took you 11 years to get divorced. Please leave us alone. You and top it all off, you had so much to say about how Stacey was moving. Sweetheart, it don't sound like you took Michael to the cleaners, honey. Because so many people were saying like, give our girl some space, because she going she going to take him to the cleaners. She didn't, though. Because let's, so it's very, very funny to say, she did not, she waived, let's see. Let's see. I believe Stacy waived out child support and sorry. Stacy waived child support for her one child. Ashley waived alimony. Girl, what? Let me tell you. And I think that was based on her prenup. Girl, this is not Gollum's first rodeo to the divorce lawyer. You should have worked on that post-nup that y'all were supposed to get done. I'm just saying. So, for actually, you know, I don't think Stacy had a bad season, but some of the stuff that happened to her, I was like, ooh, it wasn't she didn't have a good season. She didn't have a bad season, but it's like, this isn't, because I'll be quite frank, that man TJ is playing in your face and you're a little too pretty. Who else was playing in your face? Whoever put that helmet on your head. Because, baby, I'm like, I need to know. I just want to pull at that wig or get a better lace, because Stacey's a little too pretty. Because when I saw her stand up, I'm like, oh, gorgeous. But then we get the close-ups of that face and that head. I'm like, now why your glam don't love you, baby? Because I love you. I want them to love you. But I will say, Jazzy looked like the promo pictures. Jazzy's glam was like, ooh, girl, and she had this look on her face. But when you sitting down, stunning. Face card don't decline. Would never get declined. So I was just very like, girl, what the hell? I hated Mia's look in the photos. I loved it on the reunion. It's so weird. And Wendy perched, titties sitting. Everybody's titties look good because they were all up and up. They were up and stuck. Wendy looked amazing. She didn't have. I'm saying Wendy had a good season. I'm saying based on her story. When I say good season, based on her story. Because her story about her turning 40, even though it was like 75 episodes of that, that's fine. If Karen could say she's turning triple 60 all fucking season, I think I can do a few episodes of Wendy turns 40. Again, I hear people about Stacey, but for me, some of the best housewives have a level of delusion. They are delusional. And Stacey has that. And it's just very refreshing to see someone who has the level of delulu that I kind of need for me to like her. And I really did like Stacey this season. Jazzy, girl, please give me a hand, beloved. You are a side chick. But if you want to marry that man, you go right ahead. Stop acting like you're not, baby. Stop me not. I'm getting to Karen at the end. Giselle, I said she had a good season because, one, did she give us a little bit of back of her story? Yes. I wonder from I think it's two more parts of this reunion. So maybe we'll hear about the lawsuit about like her father's estate. But I will tell you this. All season, Giselle looked good at this reunion. Giselle looked amazing. One of the better dresses. This is the best I've ever seen Giselle at a reunion. I am just thankful for the folks that called her into the Save Your Flute meeting. Brought up attire at the meeting because she was like, y'all gonna stop saying I don't know how to dress. Giselle because one, Giselle has good. She has a beautiful face. She has good hair. And I do like Cal doing her hair. So she was like, y'all gonna stop. You will not stop. She was like, y'all will not comment on my attire no more. Hence why she looks so, she looked beautiful. She's one of my best dressed, her and Wendy. So the two people who had good seasons, and I'm putting good in quotes, they were the better dressed. I will say this is probably the best I've seen Ashley. And Wendy has been serving looks all season, but she's been serving looks for last couple of seasons, Destiny. So there. And I like Stacey's dress. All right. Fashion. Bloop. So what happened in the first part? So they started with the elephant in the room. Karen is not here. Now, this is what's getting me. They are finding out at the reunion that she's not here, but Ashley came with a framed picture of Karen. Who gave that picture to Ashley? She said, this is my picture. You came with a, let's see. I don't want to say, it's not 8x11. It's not 5x7. It's the one that's a little bit above that. You came, maybe that is an 8x10. Maybe that's 8x, I'm looking at the frame. It might be 8x10. Of one of Karen's promo pictures in a frame. Girl, how long you knew she wasn't coming? Or did you just assume that she may not be coming and said, let me get ready? Can't remember. So apparently this reunion this filming came right a little bit after the verdict for her trial. Now, they had two different videos. One of Karen looking a little bit disheveled, and I think that was right after the verdict, saying she's going to take, she was like, basically she shook. Anybody who's found guilty should feel shook, so I can understand that. And she said she's taking full responsibility, which is very funny considering that all season she was like, I will be vindicated, and anybody who's not in my corner, I need soldiers. Now, when I said Karen is a liar, she has been lying. She has been lying since this whole season. And the thing about it, before even those body cam, her arrest videos came out, I was like, let me tell you something. Karen is lying, but to give her a little bit of grace, if she was that drunk on those nights, she probably didn't remember those videos. However, if your legal team is trying to get them barred, there's a reason. That means she saw them. She saw them. Whether she don't remember what happened that day, but she saw those videos because they got it to get ready for the defense. When she literally should have tried to find a plea deal. Girl, you too drunk for this. Because apparently she fired her legal team right before this. So now she's going to rehab. And then she had a second video where she's a little bit more glam. And she is thanking people. And the first person she thanked was Giselle. And not even going to lie to you, I am not surprised that she said Giselle first. I didn't. She then went on to thank Kiana, Jazzy, Candace, who's no longer on the show, and then Andy Cohen. And his face was like, wait. He looked like, now why am I in it? Considering that during her arrest, she said, I love it. Andy Cohen named me the Grand Dame. That's not true. That is Giselle. The clip they showed was from last season, but they needed to go all the way back to season 1. That's where the nickname, the Grand Dame, came from. Season 1. Yeah. Oh, God. It's season 9. Woo. Wait. Season 9? Yeah. Season 9. Yeah. So it's been that whole time. And the face crack that everybody heard around the world was Wendy's. Because if you watch this season, now mind you, I said that Wendy had a good season. For her story, she did. But she was looking like, and the thing about it is, at the time, she didn't look like Boo Boo the Fool for being so Team Karen. She does look like Boo Boo the Fool now, and that was the face that she was banging. She's like, now I rode for this bitch all season. When they wanted to talk about like her situation or her, she shut them down. She was always Team Karen, and she did not mention her at all. And at first, before they showed the clip where she basically Wendy told her, I've been your ride or die all of these months, and she said, you have. At first, I was thinking that maybe because one, it was like a lot of the stuff when she was being a soldier for the Grand Dame. It wasn't when she was around. I was like, no, maybe it's because a lot of this is going around and Karen is probably not watching the show. But then when they show, and that's I think this is from the finale. So then it's not a surprise. And she knew. She left Wendy out, and I'm trying to figure out why. I don't understand why. I don't. But I think it is because of what Giselle brought up. She is not your friend. But Wendy had to get there. And the reason why she didn't, like Giselle was like, I've been said it. She did said it. Wendy's first season, when they were at Monique's Lace house, she did tell Wendy. Here's the thing. She didn't really know her. And she didn't trust her. But she knew Karen. The person on the show that she knew was Karen. And Candace. So no, she didn't believe you. And then the animosity for the last couple of seasons, she damn sure not listen to you now. Honey, now we have to, because when you were telling Candace that you're going to tap on her Lacefront and say that Karen's not your friend, Giselle just tapped on yours, baby. Karen is not your friend. Because you're acting like, and like, because it wasn't just like what happened after the verdict. All damn season, Wendy been in your corner. And I find it ironic. And because I don't, like, she didn't take Mia, Stacy, and Ashley. I'm not surprised by that. But I find it very interesting that the person who was like, let's give Karen some grace, was actually Stacy. And I think it's because Karen doesn't realize, she was like, in that finale, she kept saying that Stacy was not in my corner. Why is she not defending me? But people didn't know what she actually said to Mia. She said, Mia, you need to go in there and fix that and just speak it, like, so that they understand. She wasn't just like, you're right, you're right, you're right. That's not what she did. She was like, if you want to fix this, go in there and talk to them. Period. So when they were just like, girl, I told you, it's like, yeah, I can see why she didn't believe you. And it was just like, yeah, Wendy is finding this out. But it's like, it's so interesting because everybody's saying like, girl, I don't know why she's doing this. Karen is not your friend. I have a question about what happened between Giselle and Stacy, because Giselle on Stacy's ass, and I'm not exactly sure why, but it's only the first part, and I guess we're going to figure out what's going on. Because Giselle alluded to Stacy is trying to also get into the cannabis business like Happy Eddie, which, Dr. Wendy, I would love a Happy Eddie sponsorship. I just love him and his chipmunk cheeks, and you. I love a beautiful black couple. I love the Yosefos. They are just stunning. Okay, so I don't know, because Stacy has denied this. We will see if something comes out. I think the other part about why Wendy's face cracked is because when Wendy got to go to the White House and interview the former chief of staff. I'm sorry. Oh, hold on one second. Sorry, I was having a moment of woo. I was about to just choke all over this mic. So it's not the chief of staff, it is the former press secretary, Corinne Jean-Pierre. She got to do that with her and do it at the White House. She invited Karen, of all the people. Now, I am of the opinion that if Candace was still on the show, she would have just brought Candace, but I think she still would have brought Karen. I think like the friend that she would have had, it would have been time out. All right, hold on. Corinne Jean-Pierre, the former press secretary, her birthday is August 13th. She is an August Leo. Oh, sorry. I adore her. That's it. All right, we're going back to, so I think she would have invited definitely Candace, but she would have still brought Karen. I think Karen has been playing in this woman's face this whole time. Anybody who has said that Karen said something about Wendy, I believe them. Because Stacy also said that, and she said, I had never said that to you. I don't believe you. Nobody believes you, Karen. Nobody believes you. Because you played on this woman's face. She was in your corner. She was being the soldier that you truly wanted. And now you're watching, it's like, oh, she was never your friend. She wasn't your friend, but she enjoyed having somebody soldier for you and having your back. Having her back. Not your back. Her back. And I feel really bad for Wendy. That is not okay. Because with everything that happened with Candace, did you see Candace treat Wendy like that? She didn't. So, yeah. Karen, nasty work. Then they also, and the thing about it is, Wendy said to Kiana, she told Kiana, girl, watch out for Karen. Now, Kiana is like, she is going to, basically she said, she gonna play it by ear, but Kiana, I hear you, like, oh, she personally took care of me that night that she got into the altercation. Where was Karen? Sitting right next to her. So I can understand why she's not like, girl, so easily. I feel like she's not going to get it like everybody else. She's not going to get it about Karen until Karen does something that's not cool. That's where people, like, that's what's going to happen. Everybody has to get popped by Karen before they realize Karen ain't your friend. And she will throw you under that. She will literally throw you away like you mean nothing. She will put you back. She will put you back in the closet with the other coats. And that is so, I can't believe this. This is just whack. Because they also said happy birthday, Wendy. Mind you, I think Wendy is 41 at this point by the time this came out. Actually, no. I don't think has her birthday passed yet? I don't think so, because this season started a few months after Karen's DUI, which was March 2024, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm getting this date right. I hope I am. I believe I am. So I don't think her birthday has passed yet. I think it's this upcoming summer. She's going to be calling 21. So because they brought the birthday thing, all of a sudden Jazzy is here. She looks very cute. That picture did not do her justice. And that dress is too long for her. Or maybe she didn't have her shoes on. I don't know. But the way that it was, shout out to Rodney the Voice. The way that it was pulled at the bottom, it was like either it's too long and it needs to be hemmed, or homegirl did not have her shoes on. And so it's like, yeah, if you're going to be posing in like a dress, especially a dress that is a ball gown length, you need to have your shoe on so that it'll fall properly. Okay, let me shut up. Jazzy comes out. And of course, everybody brought up like, Jazzy, it looks like you were the side chick. You were a baby. And when the person said, Mia, you're a side chick, what's your professional side chick take? When I tell you, I was not prepared for this. I'm like, who the hell is this person? Because I love this. But yeah, it's kind of like they picked it up and put it down. And Jazzy's like, oh no, I'm not the side chick. You are. They, like, actually talking about her divorce was like, bloop. And then they got into a story about Mia's birthday in Miami. And within maybe 6 minutes, you watch Mia like lie straight for 6 minutes. First it was, you didn't know they were coming to town. Then it was, oh yeah, they were coming to dinner, I knew. So how were they going to get to dinner, baby, if they weren't in town? Because what happened was, Jazzy and I'm sorry, why am I blanking on this woman's name? Jazzy and Stacy got invited to Mia's birthday party. It was in Miami. Apparently, nobody else got invited, just those two. The weekend they went, Stacy's like, we didn't see her anytime in Miami. It was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, y'all didn't see her? Oh, I'd have been seriously on the beach with my drink. But, because I'm like, oh, girl, I'm not wasting a sitter for my child or a flight to Miami or a hotel stay. I would have enjoyed myself, and Stacy deserves a night to herself, especially as a single mother. And Jazzy does too, I think. So yeah, because obviously Stacy was pissed. Stacy's a Detroit Barbie like Kenya Summermore. See, that's the thing. She seems very polished, but she also gives off, but don't push me.
But don't push it. Don't push it. She gives off, don't push it. So basically, here comes Stacy with the receipts, because Mia was saying, I didn't know that they were coming. And Stacy's like, hold on. Because she was just, Mia was like, oh, I didn't know they were coming. Stacy's like, what the hell are you talking about? You invited us. I said I was coming. And then when I got there, I'm like saying, hey, girl, what's going on? You didn't talk to me until like the next day. It was like 12 something at night. And they're saying the next day, but it was like basically it's hours after. I guess her dinner was at 8. Nobody didn't show up. She left after an hour. And then Mia didn't return her text until like 12 something. Stacy came with receipts, timeline. Yeah, sorry. So she came, it's like, and then all of a sudden, as soon as she gave her phone to Andy to read, then Mia turned on the waterworks and said, and she's like, I'm so sorry. And so she apologized. And I think what happened with that video with Karen has hardened Wendy. And she's like, fuck you, light-skinned ladies, and y'all tears. Because she said, you start crying to seek sympathy, and Mia, as your friend, I'm sorry, but this stops today. And she didn't say she wasn't her friend. She said, you need to stop that. Because the minute she gets confronted, all of a sudden, drama, the tears come. Oh, girl, I will drink those tears. Because you were kind of making, because what Mia said was, oh, I spoke to Jazzy and Stacy. And she's like, no, you didn't speak to me. Well, I sent you a message. You did not speak with me. And I was like, yeah, why are you sitting here like, oh, we addressed it? No, you didn't. We have not talked. So no, we haven't addressed shit. And I'm so glad that Stacy was not letting her slide. Don't let this bitch slide on nothing. And I'm glad I'm glad she did it. And she apologized for saying she was a bad friend, because she was. But Stacy's like, I don't care, because it doesn't feel genuine. Because guess what? This apology should have came. The week after that bitch came, like, you should have apologized to her the week after homegirl had to come back to Potomac because yo ass was not there. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have came back earlier because, hey, hi, I know you paid for a sitter for your kid. And even if she was with her father, she still got arranged child care. It's like, Stacey's like, girl, get out of here. And I think, and that's how the first part ended. I think they're alluding to Mia left the reunion. I'm going to say this right now. Mia can't bat those pretty eyes and move those big old dick suckers and like shift and use them big old hands. Baby, we don't care. When it comes to Mia, she tells so many lies. Girl, I feel like she's allergic to the truth. She lied so much only about this conversation about Miami, and them bitches sitting right there. I'm like, girl, now you just lying for sport. Is this an Olympic event for you? Because I swear this must be a sport. This must be your job to not tell the truth for no reason. So if she did actually leave the reunion early, I'm not surprised by that, but that's some bitch ass shit if she did. Speaking of bitch ass shit, let's talk about Married to Medicine. Now, I have maintained when it comes to violence on my screen, I'm fine with violence if it makes sense. Not saying I'm a violent person. I'm like, everybody should be violent on camera. Nope. If I can understand how if the math is mathing on the violence, I'm like, okay, I can see how that got there. I'm gonna say this right now. King should have punched Dr. Squeak right in his face. And I know someone said, what? I'm like, yeah, he should have punched him right in his face. I didn't say he should have spoke to him. I think, like, come over here. And he should have punched him right in his face. Now, I find it very interesting that everybody is caring more about Greg's feelings. And this is Quad's group of friends. Y'all care about his comfort and his feelings. When? Last season, y'all didn't give a damn about her feelings. about bringing Sweet Tea and Greg around or spending so much time with them and filming with them. You don't think that was a gut punch to Quad? Y'all didn't care about her feelings. You want to know why? Because y'all didn't know that she was getting dick 15 times a week. That's probably why it didn't seem like she didn't talk too much about it. Because she didn't care. I mean, I think she cared, but it wasn't like, I'm sorry, if I was getting dick 15 times a week, I wouldn't have the energy to care that y'all being some raggedy bitches for bringing around my alleged abusive ex-husband and his new wife. And I'm only saying alleged because, hey, hi, protection. But a few years ago at a reunion where by sheer coincidence, they were matching because they were both wearing blue. They had their own segment. It was Andy, Quad, and Greg. And they talked about, this was after the marriage is over. And Quad brought up the fact that Greg pulled her down a flight of stairs by her hair. And then he said, well, you pulled a knife on me. Didn't necessarily say that didn't happen. But saying, oh, well, you pulled a knife on me. Was that before or after you dragged her down some steps? Because it sounds like it was after. But I have no idea. So when they came back together as a group, Mariah and Toya were trying to make, like, when I think Andy the one brought up abuse. Oh, you shouldn't say that. And Andy was like, hey, hi, we were just in the segment. That came up. That is true. Or that was like, that was how it was brought up. Because, hey, hi, Greg never said that Quad was lying about that. Or that didn't happen. He just said, well, you pulled a knife on me. You didn't say that you didn't. So there's that. So imagine you are like one on national television saying that your ex-husband put his hands on you. No, I don't want that squeaky ass bitch around me. I wouldn't. But because of where everybody was when their friendship with Quad, basically y'all tried to exile him out the group and y'all tried to replace Quad with Sweet Tea. I don't know why y'all did that. And then you come to find out maybe you shouldn't do that. Or you come to find out that your issues with Quad and a lot of issues had with you, y'all could actually fix this because y'all were actually friends before. So now Quad is not going anywhere. And now Quad got a very, very, very impressive man. I'm talking just about physically. Y'all can talk about his job all you want. I'm sorry. If I was somebody who had money and lived a very comfortable lifestyle and I could maintain my lifestyle without somebody with me, the only thing I would be asking you for is penis. I don't need you to pay a bill. I don't need you to take care of my home. Baby, I can do that on my own. But you could drop off dick, and it seemed like he drops off a plenty. So y'all didn't care. All of a sudden, now you care about comfort. But, and the thing about it, this is a very interesting thing. You weren't talking about Sweet Tea's comfort. It was Greg's comfort. I mean, it's uncomfortable for Greg. Is it uncomfortable for Sweet Tea? Because that's his new wife. You're like, it's awkward for Greg and Sweet Tea. Y'all don't care about Sweet Tea either. Let's be very clear. None of y'all do. Because y'all only talk about Greg's feelings. Girl, fuck that. Fuck him and his feelings. Why would you come back to this show knowing full and hell well whether they on the outs or not? She still is filming this show. She still got a contract with the show. What the fuck are you doing here? It would be different if Greg had maintained filming all of this time. I think he did like a couple of cameos in the last few seasons. It'd be different if he maintained filming all this time. Like when the guys got together, here come Dr. Greg. This would be so different if he was just around all of this time. He wasn't. And he's not a fucking cast member. Their husbands are not cast members. So why are you caring about his feelings? Look, it's ridiculous. But, Quad was drunk at that beach thing, and so was Toya. But Toya was not 17 sheets to the wind. talked about this a little bit because here's the second part, and we're gonna see quote unquote the fight. There was no fight. Wanna know why? Because there's a fucking football player on that damn beach too named Steve Sanders. They were not gonna let them fight. Them grown ass men that got medical degrees. Dr. Squeak was not the only person with a medical degree. They were not gonna let these two men fight. They weren't. Even though they should have. They were not going to let that happen. So a lot happened in this episode. When I tell you it was a lot going on and I kind of lived for it. But I would say the biggest blow ups on this show that happened, because it was 3. Let's see, 3? Yeah, 3. 2 of them were not Heavenly's fault. I'm like, I can't believe I said that, because is Heavenly the messiest person on the show? Absolutely. Here's the however. So let's talk about 3 blow-ups. Let's talk about the one that wasn't that. It's the one between Sweet Tea and Heavenly. And that happened where it's just like, girl, how did this just happen? Like, so Heavenly and Sweet Tea got into it. I understood why. Here's the thing. I could say a lot about Lipton all I want. I could say about lukewarm tea. I could say like backwash tea. We can give them a whole bunch of names. However, I understood why she asked that question. Like, girl, why are you here? The thing about it is that she was on the other foot, and Sweet Tea did the inviting, and Heavenly had asked her a question. Sweet Tea would have responded the exact same way. Girl, do not speak to me. Like, girl, this is none of your business. But I don't think Sweet Tea would have done that. Their blow up is the funniest thing because, one, that didn't need to happen, and also Heavenly fell down. Let me tell you something. Heavenly's a 304 girl. She really is. She ain't fighting on this camera, but she has said it and maintained it, and she keeps saying it. Somebody hit me on this camera, I'm gone. I don't know why the hell y'all ain't slapped her yet. I'm not saying slap Heavenly, because I like Dr. Heavenly is a field producer, a mess starter, a force multiplier, because she starts mess. But you slap her and she out. If she is telling you, like, people are like, I want her off this show. Well, y'all know what one of y'all need to do. Hold her down and smack her in the face and see what happened to you. And what happened? She gonna leave. Why have none of y'all slapped her yet? Here's the thing, girl, stop talking and just slap her. Slap her, Malin. Slap her. That's how she'll get off the show. But that's neither here nor there. So Sweet Tea asking that question, she's not wrong to ask that question, because I'm sorry, I would have said it too. Like, girl, who decided this was okay? Why the fuck would you invite Apollo and his wife, which, by the way, until they said it, I totally forgot that they got together while Apollo was still in the whole, he was in Clink Clink. He was in the Chokey. He was still there. The ink was not dry, and they got together before, I don't even know if they had started talking about divorce yet. So I'm like, it's one thing, it's like, you did sleep with that woman's husband. However, did she wreck the home? No. Apollo did, because homeboy can't stay out of jail. Because the minute he had to surrender to go to that jailhouse, Phaedra was looking for a way out. That still does not mean I would not pick up the guy on that hoe. Because you fucked my husband. I know he in a jailhouse like this, love after lockup. But yeah, you can't talk to me. You can't. Now let's talk about Shireen, Phaedra, Apollo, and Shake. Shake said on this camera that he is friends with Apollo and Shireen. Now, he's friends with you, but you're saying he for the streets. I don't think I would say that about my friends. I may say that about my friends' friends. I'm kidding. No, I wouldn't. But I found that, like, Shake is for the streets. By the way, they did the timeline on that. The speed dating thing was allegedly 2 weeks before. You met that man a fortnight before you went on this trip, and now he with you in Key West, Florida. I'm sorry. Something in the buttermilk ain't clean about that. It just isn't. They blow up between Apollo, Shireen, and Phaedra. And I said I'm a fan of Heavenly's. This is Heavenly's fault. But not totally. Okay? So, if we go back to look at the timeline, Heavenly saw Apollo at Damon's office, invited him to, oh, we doing a couples trip. Now, if you're doing a couples trip, you see one part of the couple, of course that's two people, right? Get it. When she then came back to Apollo, she said, oh, is Shireen coming? He said, what, class? No. He said, no, she's not coming. I think, and then she says something, because he confirmed that he was coming, but he said Shireen wasn't coming. She didn't, and I think she would have said this even if Shireen was coming. She would have told Phaedra. She called Phaedra and said, hey, I invited Apollo. Hey, is that okay? You'd already asked him to come and he confirmed he was coming. But I think you felt like it wasn't that messy because he flat out said Shireen was not coming. And she said, oh. And then she said, surprise me. See, this is where Phaedra fucked up. You should have said, no, Heavenly, no, I don't feel comfortable with this. Why would you do that? Here's the thing. Do not be Southern Belle when a raggedy bitch that you know fucked your husband could be had the potential. Because I think what it is, I think that's the reason why Shake was invited. Because even though Heavenly told her that she invited Apollo, I'm sorry, it's a couples trip. I would think he's bringing Shireen. So I better not come to this couples trip by myself. Bringing his friend is super weird, but that's neither here nor there. Do you know how many escorts, big bubble-butted, cute boys, escorts that are in Atlanta? You could have found anybody. But his friend, allegedly, girl, no. So this, at the root, is Heavenly's fault. However, I will take away 20% of that. Because, actually, I'll bump it up to 25. Only because Apollo flat out lied and said Shireen wasn't coming. And she can't. I was like, who the hell is that? Wait a minute. Because I thought I was going nuts. I was like, I could have sworn he said that she wasn't coming. So why is she here? You want to know why? Because Shireen found out he was going to Florida. Oh, you are not going there without me? Not around Phaedra and her donkey booty? Absolutely not. You are not going around that donkey booty without me. Mind you, you the one who fucked her husband. Not the other way around. You're the girl, you were the side piece. So when Phaedra called her a bad built bitch, I was like, I was not prepared. And also, I was like, Phaedra, get her. Also, should have gave this energy to Heavenly. Because the minute I saw Shireen and her big back or badly built ass coming down that thing, I said, I would have pulled Heavenly and said, why the fuck didn't you tell me she was coming? I'd have cussed Heavenly out. Full stop. I'm like, girl, get me off this boat. I'll see y'all later. I'd have left. I would have left so bad. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Fuck these motherfucking cameras. I'm out. I'd have left. I know it seems kind of silly, but I'm like, I'm not spending my day with my ex-husband and the woman who fucked my husband. Do I think Shireen wrecked their home? No. But she did fuck that woman's husband. So there's that. Shake and his response. Shake made me laugh when he was on Toya. Why are we asking these questions? Because Toya is messy. Heavenly is the messiest person on this show, but she ain't the only messy person on this show. Toya and Simone are up there too. Just saying. But I think Toya did it that way to see if his answers would change with Shireen sitting there. And to a certain extent, they didn't. But I find it hilarious to watch. I think they thought that that's going to change. But they did and they didn't. It's like, I don't believe in, when it comes to Shireen, Paolo, Phaedra, and Shake, I don't believe any of them. So this just got funny. Now the third one is the thing between King and Greg. So let's go back to the night before. They were asking the questions. Now, I agree with Simone. I don't think the questions were shady. Some of those questions I have heard, these are couples questions. I don't know why y'all care about how many times y'all get dick or cooch during the week. Why is that any of y'all business? Y'all don't need to know. But y'all also can be like, your answer could have been enough for me. What's that number? You don't need to know that. See how that works? Because I didn't need to know that Curtis was Jackie's first. That actually makes things a little bit more transparent for me. It just does. So yeah, I'm like, girl, I would not have answered any of those questions. That's actually kind of crazy to me. I'm like, girl, why are you asking me them questions? Don't ask me this shit. There's that. So when Quad and King gave their 15 times answer to the question how many times they had sex, Sweet Tea took her elbow and bumped Greg, saying, you hear this? Time out. Why the hell do you care? Fat Meat was greasy when Quad was on this show last season alone, and you thought she ain't had no prospects, she ain't got no man, and here I am, I'm a flossy, I'm happy, I got a new wife. Girl, she left you. You didn't dump her for Sweet Tea. She divorced, she left you. Remember? Sleep number gone. That's what you told her. But you ended this. Girl, shut up. So that was the first thing. And then she said, somebody's lying. Now, at first I thought that maybe Quad didn't hear her. Oh, she heard and turned around and said several times. I'm like, oh, girl. See, the thing about it, so Rodney, the voice, and I are in the same boat. Sweet Tea opened this can. She did. Because one, somebody lying. Girl, why do you care what your husband's ex-wife do with her cooch? Or who pounds the hell out of it? Why do you care? And why would you do that? Then, when they gave their answer, she's like, oh, y'all need to have some more sex because we need a baby Lunsford. Toya, she's like, we need baby Lunsford coming soon. And Toya's the one who made the joke, and then you're gonna throw the baby shower, and I will be in charge of it. Now, was Quad drunk off her ass? Absolutely. But is she the one who initiated talking about planning Greg and Sweet Tea's baby shower? You know damn well she wasn't being serious. Was she the one who did that? No, that was Toya. And I'm glad that Dr. Mimi and Steve clocked her on that. It's like, no, that was you. It's like, I'm so glad. They're like, I'm glad Mimi was like, did Toya just do that? Yes, she did. Oh, she's the one who started. So, and the thing about it is, the reason why it seemed like Quad is the one who did it, because Quad is the one who kept talking. Toya made one joke and let it go. Quad drunk ass kept talking because she was drunk off her ass. But y'all knew that. And then Greg decided to say, we don't care what you think. Now, then she's like, well, we don't care what you think. You know, if you want to go there. It's like, that's how this started. So, did Sweet Tea open the shade can? Yep. Did Toya participate? She did. But seemingly nothing has been said to her. I think that's the reason why Sweet Tea's saying something about it now. But if you're going to tell me that squeaky ass man and put his hands on me. He can't speak to me ever. And he literally could have shut the fuck up. Hey, hi. It's like, Quad should doing too much. Greg should have never said a word to her. Because, hey, hi. It's like, she talked too much. Toya the one that made a joke. You mad at her too? No. You're only mad at Quad because this whole I'm a flex on Quad shit don't work when King's sitting next to her ass. It don't work. It actually makes you look stupid and small and desperate. So they going back and forth, and Quad talked a lot because, and hey, hi, Quad was one of 17 sheets to the wind. What about all of y'all? I'm sorry, Toya, were you 3 sheets to the wind? No, none of you other than. So why didn't y'all just say, all right, we going? Y'all shouldn't have waited until the hotel was going to kick y'all out. Y'all should have did that right there. It's like, okay, we gonna tell him, like, okay, all right. They also shouldn't have been sitting so fucking close to each other. You want to know why? Because I think if they were on opposite sides of the little beach, Quad would not have heard her say somebody lying. Because, again, I don't blame some of Sweet T's moves. If I'm sitting next to my husband and some woman is arguing with him, I'm going to say something. So I did not blame Sweet Tea for saying something. But hey, hi, Greg, you can't tell her that. Be good. Be good. If you are the reason why she's arguing in the first place. It's like, did Quad need to stop talking? Did Quad need to, like, not talk so much? Sure. Greg should have never said anything to her. I don't care what y'all say. It's like, because one, y'all could have kept it shady or y'all could have paid it. Because it's kind of like, girl, especially when Greg said, I know your girl. You know when Quad is drunk. So you know she's inebriated and 17 sheets to the wind. You knew that. You knew that. Sweet Tea don't know her that well. Everybody else there kind of probably knows drunk Quad. Because everybody said she was drunk off her ass. Everybody knew that. But who knows better than Greg? Who knows how to push her buttons better than Greg? She was married to her. He was married to her. So he knew what he was doing. And he knew. And if somebody is very, very drunk, they don't have the inhibitions not to say what they think. Because it was fine for Greg to talk about how much, like, his life is so much better with Sweet Tea last season. But now we got to care about Greg's feelings because Quad brought that big old muscular bubble butt man in front of him. And now all of a sudden it's like, ooh, this ain't cool. Oh, now it's not cool. I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but just had a thought. I think the reason why now it's an issue with feelings and maybe like exes should not exes should not be in the conversation, they shouldn't be around each other, is because King is an upgrade from Greg and Sweet Tea is a downgrade from Quad. I said what I said. Sorry. So I think that's the issue. It's like if Quad brought some like man with a squeaky voice and maybe he's a dentist like Heavenly, not a cosmetic dentist, like a dentist that takes Medicare or regular insurance, because she's a cosmetic dentist. That's why she can work part-time and she gets all this money. If King wasn't so fine, this would not be an issue. If King wasn't so fucking muscled up, this would not be an issue. It wouldn't be an issue. They'd be fine. I don't think Greg would have an issue. But King is King. And he looks like an upgrade from you. So the next day. So fast forward to after Heavenly and Sweet Tea are arguing, King pulls Greg aside. I'm going to say that again. Pulled him aside and said, can I talk to you? He pulled him aside. Now, if that is producer driven, that's neither here nor there. But again, he didn't bring this up in the group. He pulled him aside to talk to him. And he said, so the thing about it is Heavenly alluded to what we saw, the edited version of what happened at that beach, and what Greg said is not the whole thing. I think she's not the only person who alluded to that. But we'll see if it comes up. He said to Greg, I'm going to let last night slide. This sounded like a very man answer to me. It did. It sounded like a man answer. I mean, what did Greg say? Okay. I was like, but you can't speak to her anymore. Because the thing about it is, if Quad is so long-winded as everybody says, and she is, you know he's heard a lot. He's been with this woman a year. So that's why it don't seem like he's surprised by anything, because she has been probably very transparent about what happened in her marriage. Because he doesn't seem like, oh my gosh, about a lot of stuff he already knew. And then I think what happened is a light switch flipped off. Now, Greg said, I just said she talked too fucking much. Because of he was yelling and he was talking to Sweet Tea. King was under the impression when he said that you talked to, like, shut the fuck up, you talk too much. That whole thing that Heavenly alleged happened. He thought she was talking to Sweet Tea. So when he said that on that beach and the music changed, it was because he realized, wait a minute, he wasn't talking to Sweet Tea. He was talking to my lady, and that is a problem. I think that's what we're seeing. Again, that is just to me. I think that's what we're seeing. He just realized, wait a minute, you weren't talking to your lady, you were talking to my lady. Wrong answer. Wrong answer, forehead. It's like, no, you're not going to talk. Do not talk to her at all. Not saying don't talk to her like that. Don't talk to her at all. You got something to say, you can say it to me. And he was like, well, if I knew you, I would have addressed you. That is some bullshit. Heavenly alleged that you are a PDF file. I don't remember you jumping in Heavenly's face. You went directly to Damon and you asked him to do something about it. Why didn't you do that with King? Like, I didn't know you. Nope. Wrong answer. You did not want to bump up against King's titties because you ain't want that. Do not say if I didn't know you, if I knew I would address you. Oh, that's the cop out. Don't do that. One, he's not necessarily wrong. Don't talk to her at all. But also, Greg, you said you don't want to talk to her. So I'm sorry. He shouldn't be asking you to do something that you don't want to do anyway. Remember? You don't I don't want to talk to her. Then don't. He's saying don't talk. I'm like, if you have issues, something, come to me. Don't come to her. But the bad part about it is, why y'all acting like that's not what these men have been doing on Married to Medicine, most notably? Because Damon said the same damn thing. Like, don't address Heavenly, address me. If you got some problem with Heavenly saying, you come to me. Because isn't that what Greg did? And then here come the other men. All of a sudden, Peter bucking up his chest. All of a sudden, here come the squeak get a little bit louder. All of a sudden, he called loud. Who you think you talking to, bruh? You weren't doing that when it was just you two, and it was just in your face, and he was not yelling at you. Who the hell do you think you're talking? It's like, see, the thing about it is you're talking to a man who literally dog walk you out in this sand. You will be buried like a sea turtle egg. Do not play with him. And the thing about it is, it's like you were fine. It's like you weren't doing all this when it was just you two, but then you see the other men and you're like, I ain't no punk. I can do 25 push-ups against a retired football player. Oh, girl, shut up. And it's kind of like, then you watched Greg do the thing that he said Quad did. Quad do. He started talking too much. He started saying stuff that literally, I'm like, I don't know any part of my city that I grew up in, that what 3 of the things that he said would have got you punched in the face. Who the fuck you think you talking to? Now, allegedly, there's no physical violence that happened because the guy stepped in to stop him. So apparently him pressing charges is allegedly pressing charges. Girl, I don't know. We're going to see the aftermath next week. But I know some people said, like, wait a minute, you're saying she can say whatever she want? And I know people had a problem with it. I can understand why. Here's the thing. I think King was already mad, so he ain't care. Because the thing about it is, like, I understand, because it's like she can say whatever she wants. No, the hell she can't say whatever the fuck she wants to me. The woman who you abused, yes, the fuck she can't say whatever the fuck she wants to you. The woman that you abused, allegedly, and you came back to her show with that lady, oh, she can say what the fuck she wants to you. I understand both sides of that. I don't think I would have said it, but the thing about it is he also course corrected, or just, redirected, and said, if you have a problem with anything she say, you can say, like, come to me. Do not address her at all. If you can respect that from Damien, you can respect that from King. You don't have to know him. This is just basic man-to-man shit. You could have did this, but because you realized that the cameras and the men were watching, all of a sudden you bucked up your squeaky voice. Listen here, squeaking. King is going to beat your ass. And the only thing you can do is press charges, you baby back bitch. I'm not a press charges kind of girl. Or am I? I don't know, girl. I don't know. So we're going to see how that end. I'm just like, I have seen so many times where we talk about how when it comes to black women and who defends black women, it's usually another black woman. We get. And we ask for men, it's like, look here. If a woman is being disrespected, and I get it. Y'all don't like Quad. And don't think she was being disrespected. Yes, the fuck she was. Because that's the thing. The new life with an overbite and an empty uterus. Oh my God, that's so mean. A soon-to-be filled uterus. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yes, she can't open her mouth to me. Because I swear she act like she's the one who got the prize. Honey, I left him. That was the issue. Yes, his tone was disrespectful, period. And he should have been checked. Should he been checked that night before? Yes. But I think it wouldn't have resonated because Quad was too drunk. And it was kind of like, girl, I think Quad would have kept talking and made it worse. And it would have been like, okay, now Quad is doing too much. But if you notice, when they started arguing, it's like, okay, wait a minute, we about to come to fisticuffs. Where was Quad? No. We're not fighting. We're not doing that. Sweet Tea also ran. So many times we say, like, you need to step up and defend a woman. I don't care if y'all don't like the method that he did it. King was defending Quad and I was living for it. But I also am like Quad. I can give grace to Sweet Tea. Because when she was arguing with, I'm sorry, how am I going to fall on my own chair? When she was arguing with Heavenly, I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't think she was wrong to ask that question. Because she wasn't. I also agree with her in her confession when she said, don't give me advice that you don't follow. Yeah, because your man was definitely telling you to be good. And he is the reason why you were literally about to get up and fight Quad. Quad from Memphis, but Sweet Tea from Texas. I am not sure about that fight. Sweet Tea looked like she can fight because she looked like she's been fighting all her life. Yeah. But Married to Medicine, child. But y'all, that's a lot. I went over a lot. And the thing about it is, Married to Medicine not over. We ain't got to the reunion. We got more parts of the Potomac reunion. Oh, and Love and Marriage. Sorry. Love is Blind is back. And yeah, let's see how that's going to shape up. But let's bring some friends on to discuss So, guys, this has been the Mocha Minutes Podcast. Thank you for listening to another solo dolo episode. And I'll be back next week.
Bye.